From the City of Angels off the Pacific Ocean, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be across the nation, around the world. I'm George Norrie, and welcome to Coast AM. The last hour of the program tonight, Joshua P. Warren joins us with his paranormal moment, Giants and Moon-Eyed People. Sounds like one of those coast-to-coast moments, doesn't it? Here's what's happening. A meteorite that we talked about that crashed through a Virginia doctor's office last month is now igniting a legal debate over just who owns this valuable rock. The half-a-pound space rock landed January 18th, crashing through the roof of the Lorton, Virginia building and cracking into a few pieces when it hit the ground. No one was hurt. Shortly after it was recognized as a space rock, the doctors gave it to the nearby Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History, which offered $5,000 in return. Now, the doctors say they plan to donate the money to Haiti, to the emergency relief fund there. But the plot thickens. The landlords of the building where the meteorite landed, they're claiming the doctors had no right to give the rock away, and they want it back. A meteorite dealer, his name is Robert Haig, has told the Washington Post that the Lorton rock could fetch $50,000. That's more than the rent they probably get. The China-U.S. diplomatic spat over cyber attacks on Google has highlighted the growing significance of the Internet as a theater of combat. The Deputy Defense Secretary, William Lin, recently warned of its appeal to foes who are unable to match the U.S.'s conventional military might. An enemy, for example, could deploy hackers to take down U.S. financial systems, communications, and infrastructure. And he suggested this could be done at a cost far below that of building a $1 trillion fleet of fifth-generation jet fighters, for example. But what U.S. officials don't like to acknowledge is that the Pentagon is hard at work developing right now an offensive cyber capability of its own. In fact, it has even begun using the capability to wage war beyond merely shutting down enemy systems. In Berlin, a woman admiring the sunset on a tourist webcam in northern Germany spotted a man who was lost on the frozen North Sea and probably saved this guy's life by alerting authorities. The man had climbed over a pack of ice off the coast to photograph a sunset near the town of St. Peter-Ording and then became disoriented on the ice. He didn't know where he was. Unable to locate the beach, the man began using his camera to flash for help. Well, that got the attention of no one other than a woman hundreds of miles away in southern Germany who was watching the sunset over the sea by her computer. The area is a popular tourist destination known for its beaches and sailing, and the local tourism board runs a website through a webcam, and she spotted the flashing. Isn't that an amazing story? If you are reading food labels for ingredients, I just want you to know about one called Amino Sweet. It is a low-calorie aspartame sweetener. Tastes like sugar, they say, but they won't say aspartame on the label. They'll say Amino Sweet. So just be on guard for that. Actor David Prowse, who starred as Darth Vader in the original Star Wars films, well, he's in remission from prostate cancer. The 74-year-old says that he was given the all-clear last month after being diagnosed a year before. Prowse said that he made a full recovery after intensive radiotherapy at a London hospital. How about that? Astronomers have used a new ground-based technique to study the atmospheres of planets outside of our solar system. The work could assist the search for Earth-like planets with traces of organic or carbon-rich molecules. Astronomers spotted evidence of methane gas in the atmosphere of an exoplanet. They're going to find one day and probably will have life on it. You know, the Internet right now has been abuzz with rumors about an apparent Earth-sized object appearing near the sun in some NASA images. And some individuals have even gone so far as to identify the civilizations that these planetary-sized motherships have come from. But, according to NASA, these are indeed video artifacts that have appeared as a result of a failure in the Deep Space Central Data Recorder. So it's causing all these images in resolution. Physicist Nassim Haramein talks a lot about interesting topics in his lectures, and he explains often how UFOs may be using the sun as a stargate. And, well, this may explain all the recent NASA SOHO sun UFO images. Maybe. Another interesting part of his work, of course, how Mexican authorities have had to change the approach route for airlines due to ongoing UFO interactions. But I want to get right to the source. So we're going to be talking with physicist Nassim Haramein in just a moment on Coast to Coast AM. And welcome back to Coast. I'm George Norrie. Looking forward to this chat tonight with physicist Nassim Haramein. Has spent most of his life researching the geometry of hyperspace, theoretical physics, cosmology, quantum mechanics, biology, chemistry. Sounds like a song, doesn't it? As well as anthropology and ancient civilizations. Combining the knowledge with a keen observation of the behavior of nature, he discovered a specific geometric array that he found to be the fundamental to creation, and the foundation for his unified theory has emerged. Mr. Haramein founded a not-for-profit organization called the Resonance Project, where, as the director of research, he continues exploring unification principles and their implications in our world today. And we're going to talk with him about many of these subjects tonight on Coast to Coast. Nassim, welcome back, my friend. How are you?
Oh, it's great to be on the show again. I've been good.
I have been flooded with emails since you were with me in August of last year. I mean, They continue to roll in.
I'm glad. People are very interested, and it's very exciting to see, so much people with good ideas and people thinking for themselves.
Absolutely. Tell me about this internet buzz. What's going on here? What have you said about it specifically? I mean, they're running all over the place saying that there's a UFO going around the sun. I want to get your take on this.
Well, it's been a long journey for me to of observing the sun. It started really when I was doing a lot of studying of ancient civilization.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that, all these civilizations around the world were talking about sun gods and talking about them in terms of, using the sun in some kind of stargate or in some kind of way of traveling through the universe in many different cultures around the world. And they're very similar stories, and they're very coherent, and they seem to describe a very specific way the universe works and a very specific way we can travel in it. And so, I started to pay more and more attention to the sun. And in 1998, I came across a video that came from the SOHO probe where there was two objects that seemed to be solar-gazing comets that seemed to crash into the sun. And I analyzed the video carefully and found that there was some anomaly in the movements of those comets along their path towards the sun. And then as well, they didn't have tails that seemed to be long enough for the comet's size they were, and so on.
Yeah.
And so I started to really pay attention to a lot of the information that's available to us from the SOHO probes and various other telescopes. And as I did that, I realized that I wasn't the only one that was paying attention to the sun. And it turned out that it seemed like a very large institution, one of the wealthiest and most powerful institutions on our planet, the Vatican, was actually spending a lot of time and a lot of energy looking at our sun itself.
They have been all over the map, haven't they?
They have. And, so in 1998, I started to publicly talk about this. I showed the videos in my seminars, and I talked to people about it, and I talked to various experts about it, and I got information from insiders inside JPL and others. And, I found very, very interesting data that seemed to show that there is activity around the sun that cannot be easily explained by conventional means. And, this is a question of opinion, and, it's the result of all the research I've done, but it really looks very anomalous in many cases.
Now, one of the reasons why these theories abound, do you think it's because it's very difficult to get great pictures near the sun because it blots things out?
Yes. The sun is a very